Revelation chapter 18, verses 11 to 24. Selena, can I get you to read? Yeah.
And the merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her, for no one buys their merchandise anymore. Merchandise of gold and silver, precious stones and pearls, fine linen and purple, silk and scarlet, every kind of... I can't say that. Citron, wood, every kind of object of ivory, every kind of object of most precious wood, bronze, iron and marble, and cinnamon and incense, fragrant oil and frankincense, wine and oil, fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and chariots and bodies and the souls of men. The fruit that your soul longed for has long gone from you, and all the things that are rich and splendid have gone from you, and you shall find them no more at all. The merchants of these things who become rich by her will stand at a distance for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour such great riches came to nothing. Every shipmaster who travelled by ship, sailors and as many as trade on the sea stood at a distance. And cried out when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What is this? What is like this great city? They threw dust on their heads and cried out, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city in which all who had ships on the sea become rich by their wealth. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. Rejoice over her, O heaven, and you holy apostles and prophets, for God who avenged you on her. Then a mighty angel took up a stone like a great milestone and threw it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence a great city, Babylon, shall be thrown down and shall not be found any more. The sound of harpists, musicians and flutists and trumpeters shall not be heard in you any more. No craftsman of any craft shall be found in you any more, and the sound of a millstone shall not be heard in you any more. The light of the lamp shall not shine in you any more, and the voice of the bridegroom and bride shall not be heard in you any more. For your merchants were the great men of the earth, for by your sorcery all the nations were deceived. And in her found the blood of the prophets and the saints, and of all who were slain on the earth.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to talk about these verses. So Babylon was a prosperous city which was visited by many merchants of the earth, and government were also involved. The next slide, Pastor Rob. Thanks. So now that Babylon is gone, no one will buy of their cargoes anymore. Okay? Because Babylon is supposed to be a prosperous city. And everybody do business with Babylon. So for the inhabitants of the earth, this is a global tragedy. This includes gold, silver, precious stones, pearls, fine linen, silk, scarlet, citron wood, articles made of ivory, precious wood, brass, iron, marble, cinnamon, spice, ointments, frankincense, wine, oil, fine flour, wheat, cattle, sheep, horses, chariots, and slaves. This was a big business. It was a big time business for them. So if you look at the Roman Empire, slavery was a big business. And They profited from the Roman economy, and their trade ceased, and the great city was swiftly destroyed. It is also going to upset the system of trade. Okay? And democratic freedoms in the West and slowly destroyed. All kinds of pious-sounding legislation in the name of tolerance, human rights, marriage equality, hate speech, anti-discrimination, all the unfair treatment of people. And this is all going to slowly destroy. Okay? At present, do you realize our privacy is affected? Okay? Who have smartphones? I don't know whether my Samsung is a smartphone. Dear, is it my Samsung a smartphone? Oh, yes. Okay, see, I don't even know. Okay. Do you know, in smartphones, we can track the location? What privacy? So, if, let's say, I'm talking to Pastor Vanessa, so she's supposed to be resting at home, but she didn't. She's working in the shop. No, Pastor, I'm resting in the shop. If I find out, oh, she's at home. I mean, she's not at home, but she's working in the shop. They can track us. Smartphone can track us. Our privacy is slowly, affected. And Google Maps has got your home and car covered. You can go into a Google Map and search the address. What privacy? Emails are being monitored, and computers and phone records of sites visited and calls made can be retrieved even after deleted. I listened to this policeman one time. He was talking. And he was talking about the youths using the phone and abusing the phone. And he said, even if they have deleted everything, the police has the authority, if there's any kind of crime, to go and retrieve it. So nothing is deleted. Nothing is deleted, okay? The same goes with things posted on the internet. Nowadays we have Facebook. And even if you don't know what is happening in their life, the Facebook will tell the story of the person's life. Okay? They put up the stories. So, and the lamentation continues. Everything lasted and longed for is permanently gone, never be found again. All this is going to be slowly destroyed. That's what God is telling. Okay? Facebook is for old people. Oh, yeah. Because I and Pastor Stephen have Facebook. Now, why? I don't know what is the latest, but we have Facebook because of our relatives, friends, Singapore, you know. And this person did tell us that it's all for old people. I said, what is this new thing now? You go to a shop and buy this old people shop. And then now this on Facebook is for old people. Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay, anyway. Okay, so I really don't know what is the latest, but TikTok is the latest. Maybe we should talk about Jesus, preach and put in the TikTok. Okay, that you all can do. Okay. So those merchants who became rich through Babylon will be plunged into a great mourning, watching and wailing, because they have put millions of dollars in the business. All is going to go down the drain. Okay. Financial ruin, the city is doomed. Financial ruin is at the door. It will destroy global economy crisis. Major companies will go into bankruptcy. So if you want to invest in anything, pray and ask God for wisdom. Because it's not going up, it's going down. Okay. The merchants and inhabitants of the earth go hysterical over the downfall of Babylon. It is a rejoicing time for the heavens, the holy apostles, prophets, and godly people. Why is it a rejoicing time for them? The joy is not because sinners are judged. The joy is the demonstration of God's righteous judgment and faithfulness to keep His word. That's why they are rejoicing. God kept His word. Okay? And the joy in heaven is greater than the mourning on earth in the face of sin and tribulation. So the children of God, while avoiding offense, should also feel grief at the immoral conduct all around us. Now, continue praying for breakthrough, for your family, for yourself, because this year, after this fast, this is what I and Pastor Stephen are doing, breakthrough for our church. We pray family by family. We want to see a breakthrough. Even they might not be here, your family members might not be here, but God will do something. Because you are bringing back the fire every week. Okay, and something will stir. That fire has to stir inside the house. So we are praying, okay? So we have to look into our own character, our own heart. And it's between you and God, okay? Now, then a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and threw it into the sea, saying, "Thus with violence the great city Babylon shall be thrown down and shall not be found anymore." Okay, this is a prophetic act. Okay, a mighty angel takes a large stone like a millstone and casts it into the sea. He then decrees, in the same manner, Babylon, the great city, will also be thrown down violently. Okay? Once down, it will never rise up again. It will not be found anywhere. That means it's finished. Subject close. Okay? Now, Matthew chapter 18, verse 6. I just want to compare this with that one. "But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea." When I was preparing this, just this thought came to me. And I just went to do a research, okay? So, to cause one to fall into sin is to lead believing children or believing adults who become like children. Okay, to reject Christ and abandon the faith. That means if we get someone else to sin, you are accountable for that. Because you are a Christian and you are getting someone to sin. So you need to watch yourself on that area. We all need to. Okay, and God is saying to cause one to fall into sin is our behavior, okay, is to lead believing children or believing adults who become like children to reject Christ and abandon the faith. Don't be the person, you be someone go away from faith because of you. So that is really a very strong accountability you have with God. Okay? In my life, one time, I still think about it and I regret and I cry. There was one time the Lord told me to go and share the gospel with this person. So I went. The person was busy working. Okay? So I told the person, okay, never mind. I actually don't know the person. I was eating in the restaurant. And I told the person, I need to tell you something. I need to share the gospel because I pick up in my spirit that you are going to kill yourself. Then the person said, look at me. It's a guy, actually, young boy. And he laughed. He said, no such thing. I said, no, I'll wait for you. Tell me the time, what time you'll finish work. I'll come back and see you again. This is in Singapore. Okay? And you know what happened? Within that time, he killed himself in the workplace. He hung himself in the toilet. Now, if I've taken that minute to share the gospel with him, that few minutes, when I was talking to him, I should have shared the gospel with him. Okay? That is one thing. Another thing is my grandmother. Another grandmother. my father's mother. I was a nurse, and she was admitted in my ward. I was doing night shift. I was so tired because it was a lot of patients. She was admitted. I didn't know she's going to die in the morning. And she hugged me and kissed me. And she said, don't know whether she'll see me. I said, no, I'll see you. I'll see you in the morning. I didn't share the gospel with her. And my dad said early morning, the phone rang and 6 a.m. she passed away. So you will come across this kind of thing, and until today, if I think of it, I cry. It has never left me. It is still with me. And because of that, I saw this grandmother in hell. This grandmother that I didn't share the gospel, I saw her in hell. Okay, I'm not telling a story, this is the truth. And I couldn't come out of that for like few months. Okay, so this is the truth. When an opportunity is given to share the gospel, you share the gospel at that moment. Okay, if that moment is given to you, just share the gospel. But after that, the next step is God will deal with them. And they always, of course, they have to go back to church. That's another thing. So this is something I want to tell you. And I believe, and I'm praying that our church will have the opportunity to share the gospel, whether it is in your business. That's why we are giving out the flyers. Okay? Share, if you can pray with them, and share, give it, ask them to come to church. Because I believe if God is using you as a vessel to share that gospel to Him, and God will convict him, even if he don't come to our church, he is somewhere going to another church, a spirit-filled church. So that's the important thing. His soul has to be safe. Okay? Okay, now, where am I? All right. So, though the thought of being drowned with a large millstone around the neck is frightful, Jesus warned that causing another to fall away will bring greater misery, which it is still a misery for me. Whenever I think of her, I still cry. Sometimes I'll be talking to my family and the thought just comes, I cry because I was given the opportunity. I was the last one she saw. And I was too tired. I told my grandmother, I'll see you tomorrow. But I never saw her the next day. And my grandmother's funeral, I didn't cry. You know why? I was in shock. I was in shock for a few days because I didn't share the gospel with her. Okay? All right. Now, the downfall of Babylon means total silence. And Revelation chapter 18, verse 21 to 24, this is the whole thing about the songs responding to Babylon's fall conclude with a portrayal of the city's doom. It is just talking about the downfall of Babylon. Okay, I'm finished with chapter 18. I'll be doing next week chapter 19. Do you want to say something? Mm-hmm.